Microsoft announced last week their 2021 release wave 2 for Dynamics 365 applications. And the big news was obviously the infrastructure merge with that will bring Dynamics 365 human resources back into the same infrastructure as finance and operations. So, Bert, in your view, what are the key takeaways from this decision?
Yes, I mentioned it. It's they bring the product home again in the lab of finance operations where it belonged and where it originally was. In 2017, Microsoft decided to carve it out and, although part of the Dynamics 365 platform, bring it to the market. But for good reasons. They now finally made a decision to bring the product back as part of the finance operations or the ERP system in that. So basically, we have now more a natural fit. We have tables or data entities what we use on different areas inside the system coming from HR, and the other way around. Things like financial dimensions, what is originally maintained in the finance module, but used also for HR. We can maintain it now without any interface-ish solution in between.
Yeah, I'm actually excited to talk about this because it's been under the sheet for a very long time, as I know, in the NDA, and it's actually a relief to talk publicly now about this great exciting news.
Do you think this is only a technical decision, or actually the customers will have something to gain from this change?
In stages, they will definitely gain for that. So yes, it's a technical decision. So therefore, the maintenance of only one solution is there. So it's not on different areas. You have to maintain your different solutions in one tenant. But later on, all the different functionality which is inside, so more the horizontal functionality inside the finance operations is also now directly available for the HR module, not in two steps on that. So we have earlier access to more functionality on that. So for us, it's not changing anything on a technical side, yes, but more behind the scenes. And from a functional point of view, there's no change at all on it. So it's calm and easy. And from there, Microsoft's moving forward with the different, with more functionality on board.
For projects I think it will be most easier to do the projects, as a lot of problems we encountered in projects are now more easier to solve when this infrastructure merge is happening.
And why is that? Because the infrastructure will be simplified a bit, because everything is under the same kind of infrastructure. Is because of that?
Actually, it's widening up the possibilities of extensibility. Currently, everything on extensibility needs to be in the Power Platform, but it gives you also the ability to use explicit coding and other things we already did in the past for other customers in F&O. Actually, the whole broad spectrum of F&O comes into the play of the HR suite.
Okay. So you think that, for example, customers that have only Dynamics 365 HR, if they move back to F&O, they actually will have other functionalities, or they will have extended functionalities that they can take advantage of.
Absolutely, and also when you think of managing the environment, currently the limitation is you can only copy one environment to another in HR, but with the new features coming on the infrastructure, you actually enables you to create a backup and stock that away and pull it over later. So yeah, all the nice features that were previously known before it moved away from F&O are coming back into the play now.
Okay, so I guess as well for us as developers, as we develop functionalities for the app, will be also easier for us to create other functionalities and to integrate it seamlessly with the platform, right?
Yes, absolutely. it's and also we also developing closely with Microsoft for the new features like leave and absence, sickness registration, and those are also coming into the F&O platform. So where actually it's also good for the F&O customers having all the extensibility and all the features we built in the Dynamics Human Resource Suite are also to the large audience available today.
Yeah, I guess for even for supporting new developments and all that, you don't have double work anymore, right? You can only work in one platform. You don't need to work in two. I believe that's also like a big help.
Yeah. But what we also see in projects is a lot of integration needs. And you can think of, it makes no sense to have different cost centers in human resource and in finance, as cost centers is obviously something you're going to use for payrolling or anything else. So there are a lot of integrations being built between the two systems now, and because it's going to be on the same database level, you don't need to interface anymore, and that will be also a good thing, I think.
Regarding our web apps, of course, we have the web apps that we were working on to extend functionalities of Dynamics 365 HR. How will that work? Will be easier for us, do you think? We will not lose the functionalities coming back to finance and operations? How will that work?
Yeah, the reason why we have web apps is on some areas we created tools to make the professional life easier for the HR staff, but also for employees and managers. And on the other hand, we have extra functionality. Some of them never created by Microsoft itself, like health and safety or succession planning. Or we have functionality which goes much deeper and wider, like performance management, very much on the employee and the manager point of view. All these apps are connected directly to Dynamics 365 in a way which is exactly the same for connected to direct Dynamics 365 finance operations on it. So all the relevant data entities which are now in or becoming in finance operations will be connected to our apps just the way we originally did. So at the same time, all our apps are fully integrated. They were already fully integrated with Dynamics 365 HR. They will be fully integrated with finance operations. And I think half of them were already fully integrated with finance operations from the past. So for us, it's only a switch moving from one solution to the other.
As a last question, how ready are we, or what are the plans on supporting the customers that they only have Dynamics 365 HR? They will need to move back. There will be some data migration for sure involved. How prepared are we? Will we support those customers? I believe the answer is yes, but you tell us.
Yes. So yes, the answer is yes. Depends on the situation. It will be not a case by case, but a group by group situation. So we have new customers who can already start in October. We have existing customers. There will be tools available in the summer next year to move that particular customer to the new environment on that. And when that will happen, that's up to the customer. Have they enough resources available, and of course the tools itself of Microsoft. Good thing is of Dynamics 365 HR, it's a sealed product, so it's no customization is possible. So the move from that solution to finance operations, it's much easier than if you have heavy customization, and then you will come to a case by case situation versus more groups of when do you want to the new version of Dynamics 365 HR. We assume the name HR will be the same on that.
I think it's very important to make distinct between the different type of customers. Currently, you have customers that are on F&O and doesn't use the Dynamics Human Resource. Those are the most easiest one because they using F&O today, and they just get a new feature in their system, and they don't have to do anything else than enabling them and setting them up. The second category of customers is the category of customers that are currently only using human resources and not using finance and operations yet. So those will be migrated mostly automatically by Microsoft. So yeah, that doesn't will be the big challenge. The big challenge will be in the customers that are currently using both finance and operations and human resources. So there will be a big data move. We obviously going to offer assistance on that because when the systems are not lined up with, for example, numbers, personnel numbers should be lined up, but you can imagine that departments maybe not line up totally. So then there will be some data migration involved for the customers that have both systems indeed.